You look like a witch brewing a potion.
Could be worse.
The elixir of the gods right here. Are you a beer drinker? Have you ever seen how it's made? Today, I'm going behind the scenes at Nelson Brew Works in Copperas Cove, Texas to watch him make his amber.
All right.
So what are you doing?
We're going to put the first 55 pounds of base malt here. Some good old 2-row. We got. All right. One bag down, let that mill, make sure we're hitting the bucket. And then we'll go measure some more. Try to get 15 pounds here. I think we'll get it. $14, $15.
Some to spare.
Yep. I don't know why this is the only recipe that doesn't end up equal bags. I'm not sure why. Stuff will not all fit. So we will need another bin for that. All right, you up the rest of this. Oh god, it's not even worth dumping in there hardly.
We are weighing gold.
Ooh, a whopping half a pound.
Nice.
All right. I think I can only fit 20 max in a bucket here, so.
So what's that one?
All right, so this is just our chocolate malt. It's just a little bit for color. Our special is going to be for color, but giving it a little more sweetness. And our graham cracker malt, that one's that bready graham cracker kind of sweetness and mouthfeel. So that's why we all got different malts in here, and every recipe kind of changes. Just uses a little bit of chocolate on there. Come on. Got 36 gallons going over here today. Alright, now we gotta just break up all the clumps, get all the mash wet here. Don't want any dry spots. And mix it up since we have all the dark stuff on top and the base malt on the bottom. Even that out a little bit, even that's not that important. The half-gallon one that I wanted is not going to matter though. But we backed up into this tube, so I got to switch the tubes here.
And that's going to circulate the water in that tank?
Yeah, that'll circulate it. And that's where the temperature gauge is too. So when we have the temperature regulator on, I've got to have that on. So we'll swap these over. I'll let that run. We need to get down to about 153, but it's going to read hot right now because all the hot wire that we put in there is on the bottom. All the cold grain we put on top. That will end up cycling through, cooling down, and evening out as we run that pump. So we'll let it go here for a little bit.
Doing the second part of the recipe now?
Well, almost 30 pounds right there.
Wow. Off just a little bit.
Well, I added 2 more. You want me to add 2 more pounds, right?
It
Oh well.
was pretty close.
They weighed it. I got extra. I got bonus. Bonus grain. That's what that means.
So you said you need to get that to a certain temp?
Yeah. So as if you look now, the temperature has dropped. We were about 169 back to 154. We should level out about 153 here once it continues mixing. It's slowly dropping. So, like I said, it's just the difference between we put hot water in the bottom, we added cold grain to the top. Those guys are going to mix, so that temperature will drop. So, yeah, we're about 154 now, which we can mash in about 154. That's actually not bad. I'm shooting for 153 on this, just to kind of be between the average 152, 154 that most people do. So that'll be perfect when this is all done. Just have to wait a second. I'm just gonna fill this up and let it sit for a second. Let that cool. Let's see what temperature we're at according to the machine. Introduce. All right, so we're gonna take our sample here of the wort, get our gravity reading, so then we know what we hit the next time to level out before we do our sparge. All right, so now we're in the runoff stage. We're gonna run the wort off of the grain into our boil kettle. As that boil kettle fills, we will start sparging. So sparge is where we run hot water over the grains, help rinse off all the sugars and get any excess that didn't come off while we were draining. So that is the next step. Hopefully that only takes about 20 minutes or so.
One eternity later.
We've filled everything over. We've sparged. Now we just have to wait for this to boil. We're about 176 degrees, so 211's where that's going to sit and start boiling for us here. It's just a waiting game now. How fast can we get to that temp?
We are boiling. Got the hops in. 211 on the bowl. What are you doing over here?
Starting to clean out the spent grains that we just used and get ready for the next batch to go in because we have to double batch everything.
What do you do with those spent grains?
We have a farmer that comes and picks them up, and then they feed them to their cows or chickens, goats. A lot of animals can eat them.
Nothing goes to waste. Sometimes it can be a little messy process.
Just a little. Alright, we need half a pound of this, 8 ounces.
Now what's that?
Our hops. I have 7 for this one. Alright, pour those in my little strainer here so that it can get all those oils in there. And if I don't give it a stir, it'll clump up, so yeah. Keep it from doing that.
Alright. Back in for round 2. Big bag going in. So strong.
It's gonna work out.
The elixir of the gods right here.
Second part of my workout.
That's why he's so strong. So what do we got going on here? What is this thing?
This is our heat exchanger. This is what cools down the wort before it goes in. Oh.
So you pump water through this thing and it cools it as it's going into the fermenter?
Yep. Cold water comes in. That cold water gets hot. And Shane literally changes heat. There's they run side by side each other, and that is how this thing chills. And then I've got an auxiliary input here of even colder water. It kind of finishes it off from the tank. As I make a bunch of noise, knocking stuff over. And it's ready when you are. I'm just gonna run the water. Yep. We'll run this water out until it turns into beer, and we've got water and sanitizer in there to keep it all clean. Pump on. There we go.
Going in the fermenter. Second batch going in for the bowl.
There it goes.
Rolling now. Batch number 2 going in the fermenter. All right, Alex, what are you doing?
I'm gonna add the yeast now. So the last stage here,
What does the yeast do?
as it turns the beer. This is the alcohol and CO2 to carbonated if we can capture it right. Put about 230 grams in there.
How long does the beer sit in this?
For about 2 weeks, and then we'll start taking slowly dumping the cone, it's called, and shaving off that excess yeast on there here. And that'll take another week about to totally clear out. And we're done.